Welcome to this edition of Nice Finds. My name is Sina Bajwe.
What's up, y'all? It's Kyle McClue, and we're back. We're back.
Yes, sir. Man, how do you feel?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good.
How was your week, man?
My week was good. So I actually, you know me, I'm real big on going to concerts. I went to, I guess you could say, however way you like to say this guy's name, Fade, Fetro, either or. He's a reggaeton artist.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of like his last project. It's called Feliz Cumpleaños Fetro, something like that. But
Okay.
big fan of that project. But I actually got his merch on right now.
Oh, that's what that is?
Yeah, that's what this is.
Okay, gotcha.
You know.
Police Cumpleaños.
Yeah. So I'm a big fan of him. He's a dope reggaeton artist. So he goes by Fade, but I think most of his like die-hard fans, they call him like Fetro.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So he's dope. Super dope. But how about you? How was your week, man?
Man, my week was pretty good. I feel like it sped by. I was able to catch up on some rest.
Yeah.
Work's been going pretty well. And on top of that, like, I finally sat down on Friday and just organized my entire place.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, I just from once I woke up to the end of the day, I was just like, all right, I gotta. First of all, my curtains like fell down from where they were.
Yeah.
Like the whole anchor of the shits,
Yeah.
like pulled out the fucking wall.
Huh?
So what happened was I was like I had a little seat next to my window,
Yeah.
and so whenever I sat down, I accidentally pulled the entire curtains and they yanked the anchor screws out the wall.
So did it rip the paint and all that?
Yeah, but don't worry, we gonna hide that.
That's what your deposit go to anyway.
No,
Your security,
we gonna hide.
your
They not
security
gonna see
deposit go to
They not
anyway.
gonna see that.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Damn. Well, I was gonna say that's what's up, but like, damn, I'm sorry to hear that.
I mean,
Shit.
look, but I was able to finally get my whole apartment back up. It got my new paintings on the wall.
Okay, nice.
My new frames, all that shit. So everything is looking nice. Then you know, whenever you clean your house spotless,
Yeah.
you know what you do afterwards. You put that candle in the center of the room. You know what I mean? And you go, because you gotta get the 3 wick. That's how you know it's a special occasion.
That's a special occasion.
And then that's whenever, like, I was able to just sit down and just relax.
You know which one I use that actually I think works better? Is the wood wicks.
Wood wicks.
Yeah, it seems to last longer.
I think they do have a longer lasting wick life.
Yeah, I've been
Man,
running.
my brother told me he's gonna buy a candle for $150. I was like, are you fucking crazy?
Hey, if you got the money for it, do you think?
No,
Huh?
I don't care if you got the money. To me, there's no candle on this planet.
That bad boy must like ward off spirits.
Nigga. That should cleanse my spirit. That's all right. But
Yeah. But all right, so what we're talking about today. So if you guys are followers of us, we had a big concert with Benny the Butcher recently
Yes.
out here in Houston, and we wanted to do an episode just pretty much like talking about our experience because this was like our first major concert. We got many more to come, but
Right.
we wanted to really like talk about it, and because we thought it was a super cool experience. We thought it was dope.
we thought that shit was. I mean, I felt like we were prepared for it. At the same time, it was just like
Because it's our first
It
time,
was
you don't know
first-
what to expect.
it was first time and like a condensed timeline, so a lot of things felt like accelerated. So even just the concert, even though it was like 2 weeks ago, it feels like forever ago.
Yeah, that's true.
In like that whole month and a half we were promoting the show felt like forever.
And then the show went by so fast.
Boy, that shit.
It's funny. It's like it feels like preparation takes forever.
Absolutely.
And you have like all that anticipation. And then when you actually come to the day of show, it just flies by.
Boy, cause that shit, we got there hella early, and we didn't leave until really late. And even though that happened, I still didn't feel like I was there long enough.
I know. That's a fact. And well, granted, it was a later show.
Right.
Cause all right, so a little background on the show. So usually like for a concert, doors are like what 7 o'clock, maybe 8. our doors were for like 9 o'clock. And it's primarily because the venue where we had the show, they had multiple rooms.
Right.
And we had the big room for Benny, and then there was a concert that was going on in the smaller room right next door. And because our show was like a hip hop concert, there's gonna be a lot of bass, a lot of, like the volume is gonna be real, real high. The concert next door was like an acoustic concert, and they didn't want the sound to get drowned out. Right. So pretty much we had to push the concert to like a later start time. So right. instead of doors being like at 7, doors were for like 9 p.m. So like we ended up finishing like super, super late. But not like nightclub late, but the show was over.
Damn near. I mean, after the show was over around like midnight, right?
Yeah, because he finished his set like around midnight. Around, because he got on, he did a 4 hour because he got on at 11:30ish, 11:45ish. And then he finished probably like at 12:45 or something like that, 12:30, 12:45. But yeah, it was a pretty late show.
Yeah. So I mean, it was just about the experience, and I know you weren't able to hop on stage. You should just grab the pack and just hopped on stage, bro.
Oh no, there was a reason why.
I mean,
we can't talk about it on camera.
I'm just saying, you should just grab the pack and just hop on stage.
No, but I saw his set. That's the thing about it. Okay. I just kept jumping in and out.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, because I had to. So, all right, a little background. So pretty much how our roles were. Senna did a lot of like the writer role as far as like anytime like the artist needed something, like Senna was kind of like the main point of contact as far as getting them stuff. Right. Me, I was doing a lot of like the back end work as far as like monitoring the ticket sales, a lot of the financial work, monitoring the ticket sales, handling the settlements with the show, making sure everybody was getting paid. So a lot of the stuff I was doing was reason being why I stayed in the back most of the time was like to make myself available in case it were like I was like finishing up the numbers.
Gotcha.
For like the tickets. His manager originally wanted to settle during the show.
Right. Oh yeah.
And then the situation happened, and then so we ended up then settling until after the show.
Well, after, like the whole meet and greets and stuff.
Yeah, all that. So like and the situation we're talking about, like, it wasn't like a situation as far as like somebody was like,
yeah, it wasn't too crazy.
It's like somebody lost like their cell phone, so pretty much it was. So
had to scramble to try to find.
Had to scramble to find a cell phone, but that's the main reason why I stayed in the back. Like I'll peek out, caught like 1 or 2 songs, a few songs, talked to some people, but right. I wanted to make sure I made myself available in case something were to happen back there, you know.
Okay. Yeah, I was on.
His ass was right on stage, right next to Benny.
Absolutely.
He was Benny's bodyguard. This man was Benny's bodyguard the whole show.
Look, you think we not gonna put this amount of work in for me not to be on stage with this man, enjoying the show?
Well, sometimes, remember we were saying, sometimes like, because at the end of the day, we still working.
Right.
So like sometimes you got to you have to make sure you're still available in order to get work done.
Look, I was right next to everybody that needed help. So I was basically a stagehand.
Pretty much, yeah.
I was enjoying it.
Yeah, you were the stagehand because we didn't have stagehands for the show. You were the stagehand for sure.
I was just enjoying it a little bit more since I knew the flexibility that I had.
Yeah, you were for sure the stagehand. But pretty much, so to give you guys an idea how the show was constructed without giving you guys too much detail, because there's some pieces of information that is kind of like, confidential. Right. But what's interesting is like, if you know the journey of our company, and maybe for some of the viewers out there that might not know our journey. So we started our company in 2019. Originally, how we started our company was we started out doing parties, and then we started doing events for like clients. So if somebody wanted to do like a holiday party or something like that, and then we also continued to do parties up to like COVID. COVID happened. We started doing online events. Then we ended up getting picked up by a app and doing like online events exclusively on the app. Right. And then all this led to us to where we are now as far as doing our first concert, which was also actually a year in the making. But from the jump, even from the very beginning when we was doing parties, like one of our ultimate goals was to always get into like the concert space
Get into music.
and get into music more and to like book out like national acts. So like this has been like a few years in the making to get to this point of doing a concert with a major name. And it just, I just wanted to make that point because, a lot of times, one of the reasons why we wanted to do this video is just like to show the process.
Right.
And show like, like this wasn't an overnight type deal. This wasn't something like we woke up one day and was like, all right, we're gonna do a show. It was actually kind of like years in the making. And then even when we made the firm decision, like, all right, the next event we're gonna do is gonna be a concert. It took a year before we was able to do a concert. Because like
what they say in order to manifest it, you gotta say it out loud.
Yeah, because I remember because it was like what happened was we. So, as I mentioned, one of the things we ran into was COVID. So we stopped doing like our parties and our in-person stuff for like for a good bit of time because of COVID. And when we got out of COVID, like I said, we did a deal with an app, made a good bit of money on the app from our online events. And we were like, okay, so, all right, we can do our events again. People look to be going outside now. I think it's time to get into concerts. I think one of the best decisions we made was not to immediately go in and book somebody, but we ended up finding a consultant, finding a mentor, and learning from him because
sitting still was definitely something that like we had to learn.
Yeah.
On the fly and just being like, all right, well, we just need to just not do anything. Sometimes that's a strategy in
itself. Yeah. Instead of like, cause and I think
that's actually in that book. What's it called? I know you're gonna be happy. I'm even bringing this up. And Cyrus the Great.
Cyrus the Great. Yeah. A great book.
Sometimes you have to just do nothing in order to get a strategy together.
Well, I mean, so technically looking back at it, so when we say do nothing, we didn't do an event.
Right.
Yeah, we didn't do an event like a public event for a year.
Right.
We did do like a client event, but we didn't do a public event for a year, primarily to focus on learning the concert tour industry. And we found ourselves a mentor, found ourselves like a consultant, and we meet with him all the time. Shout out to Chris G, our guy Chris G. We meet with him all the time, and I'm glad we did because we learned like it was way more to it than we thought.
Right.
Like it's not as simple as like, all right,
pay, reach out to this person, pay this person, and then you're gonna get this artist like a quick, easy exchange, and that's it.
Yeah, well, I mean, like. I guess in the grand scheme of things, you could do it like that, but the better your chances of success, there's a lot more to it, way more to it.
Right.
And for pretty much a year, we was learning that space. Now we were still actively, what you saying like the like touring industry is like putting out offers to get artists on tour. We was actively doing that.
Before you continue, how many offers did you put out?
A lot.
Between 2021 and when we finally got the answer for bidding, how many offers did you put out?
A ton, a lot.
Because I don't think people understand. Like it's not just a 1-to-1. Like I want this person, therefore I'm going to get this person.
Yeah, unless you decide that like you don't like money ain't an object. Object. Unless money ain't an object for you.
If money's not an object,
yeah, you can get whoever you want. Like, but then you find out you getting charged like 3 or 4 times more than asking rate and stuff like that. He's like, but yeah, money's not an object. But it was pretty much, we learned for a year, and then. I guess we could tell this part of the story now, since it kind of like about the last What a Vibe party.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like I said,
I think that was one of the catalysts.
That was one of the catalysts for sure.
Made us like be like, all right, well, we need to reconsider what we're doing and actually like refocus our energy into putting on a show.
Yeah. So like, come out of COVID. It was like, all right, so we want to do a concert next. But we started seeing that it took a good bit of time before we can get an artist. So it was like, know what? Let's do one of our old What About parties. So we did 2 of them. One of them had a nice crowd.
Yeah.
Crowd was pretty good. We had a good number of people. But then we did another one after that, and it was on a holiday weekend, and like empty. Nobody was there except it was like our close partners. That's
Right.
it.
It was a nice little soiree that we
It
put
was
together.
it was a kickback. It was a nice little kickback in a big venue, and a big venue, and then
It was a kickback with the bar.
kickback with a bar,
Yeah.
and then I think, and that, like you said, that was the catalyst to help us decide, like, know what? Nah, let's focus
Right.
on getting this concert done and getting into touring.
Right.
Booking artists for tours and things like that. So yeah, like you said, like, a lot of times you need that trial and tribulation in order to get to that greater blessing,
Right.
So, and from there, it was like, all right, now we're gonna hone in, we're gonna bet on ourselves, bet on ourselves and hone in on booking an act for our first concert.
I mean, that is our core competency. You know what I mean? Music is our core competency, and not only just music, but being able to discover and bring artists to people who may not have known about them, or even better, people who are part of that fan base and wanted to see that artist.
Yeah.
That is our core competency. Every time we've done an event, it's always been surrounded by music. It's always been surrounded by discovery and how we can blend those two to get a crowd.
Yeah, music education for sure. On not only on like this artist is dope, but why you should come see this artist in person. You also made a good point as far as bringing an artist into a city for his existing fans, and for their existing fans to come out and see that artist. What I liked most about the show is being of service. So being of service to the artists, and then also being of service to the fans that were coming.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because like for me, my favorite part wasn't necessarily the show, even though the show was dope. My favorite part was seeing how hyped like the fans were to see him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I was talking to somebody about it, and I was like, yo, like when we got that one video of that guy that we caught who was going crazy.
Yeah.
And he was like, it's the Butcher. Like he was going crazy. And I was like, that's why.
I love
That's
that
why I love what we do, because it's like we're creating memories for people. You know what I'm saying? We're putting together an event that's gonna be a lasting memory for somebody.
Right.
Like that's what I enjoyed the most. That's why I kind of didn't mind being in the back the whole time, because I wanted to make sure at the end of the day that the event went successful, primarily for the fans.
Right.
Fans and for the artists and for Benny, because it was Benny's big return to Houston since that whole situation.
Right.
2 years ago where he got shot and robbed, I was like, I know in my mind, I was like, yo, like, not only I want this to be a great show for the artist, for the fans, but also for the artists as well, and something that he can remember.
I think we
It was retro. Our producer Retro in the back.
Retro was actually doing all the filming and the background for us. So he caught and captured a lot of the moments that we had with Benny and BSF. So
man, that shit was fun, man.
It was a lot of fun.
Hey, bro, do you mind
You bringing what we made for Benny?
For sure.
Yeah, so, part of it, like I said, we wanted to make sure it was a lasting memory, not only for the fans, but also for Benny as well, because this is a big return to Houston. So, which camera should be? Camera A, B, or C?
Let me see, yeah.
Anyway, so, yeah. So what we made like this custom trading card from, because we know he's a big fan, like a big sports fan. So it's like a picture of him, and then on the back it has all of his albums. So
on the front it actually has all of his album covers.
Oh, all the album covers too. Yeah. So Senna designed it.
I'm trying to get it right for y'all.
Here, let me see it real quick.
Go ahead, bro.
Let me see it right quick. All right, let me.
So this is the autograph one that we kept, but we also gave him one.
Hold it right there. Beautiful. Yes.
And so let me do this like what's that?
The artist himself is going to explain it.
Like HGTV. So here's the card in the case.
A little higher, little higher. There you go. Perfect.
And as you can see right here is Benny the Butcher with his signature butcher cleavers. And then on top of that, surrounding him, you see all of his album covers that he's had over the past couple of years that have really made him hot. And then on top of that, there is a sign right here of Buffalo, New York's downtown area. There's a sign of Buffalo that he has on his website. Not only that, he's had it in his music videos as well. So I wanted to bring that to light and make it feel really homey whenever you saw it. And then right here is something mainly for Houston. You can barely see it, but it has the Be Someone sign in the back. And then as you can see, the Buffalo Bills in the background. Another light touch that I thought that was really good was just the fact that it had the blue, white, and red.
Put it in cow camera. See what it is. See.
Had the blue, white, and red.
Boom. Oh, that's fire.
On the corners.
Yeah,
and so I wanted to really make it look like a true trading card. And so on the back, we have all of his.
A little bit lower.
On the back, we have all of his albums from whenever he has a lot of albums. I ain't gonna lie to you. So I'll try to put as much as possible without making it look like too small. So we started with the Black Soprano family, all the way to Long Live DJ Shay, which is a part of like their whole ethos as like a group. And so a lot of the things that I wanted to do was make sure whenever he saw it, it felt like something that he could have as a trophy for his accomplishments.
Yeah.
And also
the return to Houston as well.
Return to Houston as well.
Yeah.
And
you showed the date at the bottom?
No, I did not.
Of the Houston show? So at the bottom they got the Houston date.
And that's actually Buffalo, New York's skyline in the background at the bottom. And then there are a couple of his performances behind the words of his album.
Yeah.
And so whenever I was describing it to him, I'm like telling him everything that was in it. He was actually telling me that like he wished he actually signed his and put it back into the case because he just liked the concept so much. Yeah. And so one thing that I felt was high praise was not only just the fact that he liked it, but
he took it home with him.
He did not take anything from that green room home besides the trading card and the thank you letter.
Yeah, that's what he took home, the thank you letter and the trading card, yeah.
And so just it being not only that, but like his signature cross out the eyes type deal, like while he was signing it, that made that concert even more special because the trading card was Kyle's concept, and whenever we butt heads on a lot of things. Whenever we come together and make something, the shit's gonna be spectacular because all we know how to do is make quality. Yeah.
So. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and the people at the venue were extremely happy, and they loved it as well, especially because it's kind of like you're bringing back an artist. You know, everybody was familiar with the situation that happened out here 2 years ago, right. And for such a great event that everybody, like, to this day, like, granted, it's only been like a few weeks, but like I was at an event recently and somebody came up to me and he was like, wait. I was at Culture, the night of the World Series. I'm sitting down eating, and the dude saw me. He's like, hey, wait, y'all did that show, the Benny show at Warehouse, right?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, man. He's like, dog, y'all do more shows like that? I'm coming, dog. That shit was so dope. I was like, bro, appreciate it, bro. I was like, man, that's so dope. Like, he really was like, bro, like, y'all do more shows like that? Like, that shit was crazy. That stuff was dope. At the Bacardi event, wow. I ran into somebody else. He was like, man, that whole ambiance, what y'all did, that stuff was fire, dog. Like, the whole show was amazing. So, like...
And that's the thing. Like, and I was talking to somebody yesterday just about concerts in general, and she was telling me that at a certain point, like because of COVID and other things, like now people just want a different feeling when they go to concerts. Not everybody wants to be in a mosh pit, and even myself, I don't mosh as much as I used to. And they laughing because they know how much I mosh.
This man used to love
They know
moshing,
how
boy.
much- they know the energy. Right?
They knew the vibe.
They know the vibes. And so, like, just being able to offer a show where people not only felt safe,
Yeah, most definitely want
they
to feel safe.
enjoy themselves. Nobody in that entire room felt like their life was in any type of danger. I mean, we had some delays, but what show doesn't?
Right, especially hip hop shows.
Right. And but everything outside of that ran on time. Sound checks were phenomenal. Everybody came in super professional. Like I said, shout out to BSF. Like they came in.
Their whole team
The
was
whole
cool.
team was all right. We already know what we gonna come in here to do. We gonna come in, do sound check, let us know where everything is. Outside of that, we're gonna stay out of your hair. Anytime there is an issue on stage or anything like that, where we need to clear an area, whenever I told people to move or go somewhere else or be at this place at this certain time, everybody was like, all right, I'm not trying to have any issues. You let me know what you need from me, and we'll make it happen.
Yeah,
And so that's one thing that I really just appreciated because it felt, and the reason why the show moved so smoothly was from the venue to us to them. There was no friction on anything.
hmm
Everybody was so open to solutions.
right. Yeah,
Nobody wanted any type of issues. Everybody just wanted everything to go well.
yeah.
And so that's what happened. Whenever everybody's on the same accord, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. What was I about to say? Oh yeah, shout out to Bun B and Maxwell
That's
Cream
all.
for coming.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thanks for coming through. That was
Yes.
dope.
Like it, and it was just awesome to be a part of that because just Maxo being on stage supporting Benny with their song Football Heads, and then
Bun B, yeah.
I mean, Bun's connected with everybody in the music industry, and so to see him being able to come in and like show love to an artist from Buffalo, New York, is just
Super
dope.
dope. Super dope. So, all right, to wrap up, tell me your favorite parts of all the
Of
show.
the
What was your
show.
favorite parts?
All right, so my favorite parts had to be one, the security briefing. I know that sounds weird.
Because no, I know why.
What's her
I
name?
know why.
What was her name? She was so dope.
Paige.
No, Paige was
Pen-
cool.
Penny?
Paige was cool. Penny.
Oh,
That
the
was so
security
good.
lady.
Don't touch it.
Yeah, the security lady. It was like if your auntie was security.
Yeah,
Facts.
like
See, I'm gonna let y'all have a good time. I let y'all do your thing, but y'all better not play around with me and mess with me. That I loved her.
She was like, I know I'm smiling and I'm happy and I'm this, that, and the other right now, but please make sure I don't have to put anybody in the headlights. I was like, say less. I mean, whatever you need to make that not happen, let me know. If you see a problem, let me know. I will fix that shit ASAP.
Continue watching the security
All
part.
right. So the security briefing was one of my favorites, and then on top of that, like whenever they were doing sound checking while we were all talking through security, DJ Zookeeper was hitting the ad libs that were going on during the show. All you hear, the butcher coming, nigga, and then Paige like just jumped up, scared out, and she's like, "What the fuck was that?"
No, it was the DJ doing sound check. She was like, "We got to deal with this all night."
And so that on top of whenever Benny came out in a wheelchair. By the way, that shit was funny of us like trying to get that shit together the day of.
That was about to be my favorite part.
Getting that in Eureka car, bro. I was like, hold up. And she was like, wait, let me get in and put, bro.
That's what I was gonna say was my favorite part. But continue. You have anything else?
Yes, and then whenever he was doing 5 to 50, and just literally just being next to him, and I just got my camera for my birthday, and so being able to like take snapshots of that moment and like have Polaroids,
Yeah.
and like us taking the pictures in the back in the
Yeah.
production room, I think those things like encapsulated that entire concert for me.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, those all good moments. So for me, my favorite parts were, like I said, I really enjoy being of service. I think that's what I really enjoy, like being of service, and then kind of like what we said before the show when we had our team meeting.
Yeah.
You know, people might not remember what you say, what you do, but how you make them feel.
Right.
And just seeing like the good energy throughout the night. So like from the fans to Benny, like how Benny, I ain't gonna lie, Benny walked in looking kind of like what's going on, look like
Yeah.
like kind of real skeptical, because you could kind of understand like the last time you was in the city, you had like a big issue, you know what I mean?
Right.
To him just being totally relaxed at the end of the night, to like backstage turning into like one big ass like kickback.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like party, like mayhem party. It was like a big ass kickback. It was like a lot of fun backstage. Everybody was chilling, enjoying themselves. So like being able to create that environment, like I said, being of service to people, making sure everybody was good, making sure everybody felt good and felt safe. Like even to the point where they had the people from BSF. Like I said, like maybe like that next week after the concert, I had a phone call with one of the guys from BSF. Shout out to Harlem Zone BSF.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, y'all did a great job as far as making it not only feel safe, but safe where we know we can have a good time and do our job, you know what I mean? And enjoy the whole experience. So seeing that, making this trading card for him was dope. We all got like trophies at home of the concert, signed cards.
There are only 5 of them that exist in this world.
Only 5 of them that exist in this world. Signed and dated of Benny's great return to Houston. You know what I mean? So that...
And this goes along with what you're talking about whenever it comes to creating those memories.
Yep, creating memories. Yep. So what else? Oh, that's our producer Retro saying, "Hey, you better wrap this shit up. You gotta wrap this shit up."
Y'all gotta fucking hurry.
And then what's my other favorite? Oh, my other favorite part is the wheelchair situation.
Yes.
Because that's when I was like, okay, yeah, we really doing a concert for real. So, little background, on the day of the show, I got a text message from the tour manager, and he was like, hey man, can you get a wheelchair?
Yeah.
Benny wants to come out in a wheelchair for his first song. Pretty much the going theme with him being 3:30 in Houston, his song 3:30 in Houston, where he got shot out here in Houston, was in a wheelchair for a little bit. So like he was like, yeah, we need to get a wheelchair. So I was literally in the gym, and I saw that text message, and I just started busting out laughing. I was like, bro, we were really doing a concert today.
Yeah.
So that, and then of course, man, putting on a show with you, bro.
Cool, man.
Yeah, man. That's the best part.
Years in the making.
And then being able to have our friends, you know, be a part of it as well. Retro's in the back recording content. You know,
and,
Brandon was helping us run
the show.
Run a show.
Zaza was helping
with the merch. Yeah.
Dunga was helping anywhere we needed reassurance, and so just being able to like, and they talk about, and I bring up Issa Rae a lot whenever it comes to this stuff like this, because it's not only just about reaching up to go higher, it's also about noticing who's around you to help you reach new levels.
Yeah.
And so I think it's very important to empower the people around you so that they have agency of what they're doing, because whenever you give people agency of what they're doing, it becomes theirs, and they will feel as if they are a part of it, and they would want it to succeed and excel just as much as you.
Yep.
In their own light, and that definitely helped out during the show.
From before we close,
Yeah.
last question, Retro. Sorry, man. We're going a little over.
Huh?
Sorry,
man,
but our
straight.
producer.
Go ahead.
What did you learn from this experience?
Good shit. What I learned, patience,
Patience.
and I mean that in the most biblical way, because that is something that I even to this day struggle with. Not only patience with myself, patience for you, patience with the entire process, and understanding that. And I know this sounds cliche, but not being troubled about the things that you can't control. And that's something that throughout this whole process that I had to relearn was relinquishing control to allow things to actually grow outside of me. So.
Yeah, I know for me is being okay with, let's put it like this. It's okay to fail.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like it's gonna be a part of the process because like this is our first show, so we had a lot of hiccups.
Right.
But failing fast and learning faster.
Right.
So it's
being
okay.
Able to pivot. And that's something,
being
that's
able to
something
pivot.
We've
Yeah.
been able to do over the past couple of years.
Yeah, being flexible, being able to pivot. So it's okay to fail, but making sure that you learn from your failures.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. Most of the time, things aren't as bad or as tough as you think.
Right. Right.
Because there were plenty of times during this whole process where I'm like, damn, we fucked up. They're going to be mad at us. And like, it wasn't even that big of a deal. It wasn't even that big of a deal. And then be as transparent as possible.
Absolutely. Yes.
Being as transparent as possible. Like to the point where it's kind of like on some like.
It almost feels like your thoughts are not your own because you're just sharing them.
Yeah, like being extremely transparent, and like people will appreciate your transparency more, even if it's a mistake. Like say, like for example, there was a situation that happened with some tickets, right? Mm-hmm. And we could have easily not told them, but because we told them we was transparent about it, I felt like we got a newfound respect from them because it was like, know what, we can trust these guys.
Right.
You know what I mean? So being extremely transparent whenever you can, being upfront and being honest. That's what else did I learn? That, and then there was something else that was really profound for me that I learned. A lot of these guys are just average, everyday people just like you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm talking about like your celebrities, these people who you might put on pedestals and stuff like that. They just average, everyday people like you, and they want to be treated as such.
Right.
Yeah, that. But I think the biggest one is for sure, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fail. It's just a matter of you learning from them. And it's actually like a form of liberation from failure. Because it's kind of like, all right, yeah, I made this mistake, but at the end of the day, I'm still breathing. I'm still living. I'm still here. And I just know that a greater blessing's on the way. And that greater blessing was putting on a great show. You know what I mean?
One thing that stuck in my head since freshman year of college from my programming professor was whenever I was learning like C++, he was like, there's nothing that you can do on this machine that will damage it. So keep trying as much as possible, and the worst thing that you can do is run a bad program. That's the worst thing that you can do.
Yeah.
But if you don't try it, at least you won't know whether or not you will fail or succeed.
That's a fact. Yeah.
So,
and then everything always works out at the end of the day.
if you understand where your goal is, absolutely.
Yeah, everything always works out at the end of the day. So yeah, so that's another episode of Nice Finds, man. This your boy Kyle.
My name's Simon.
Appreciate y'all tuning in. We out.
Catch you at the next show.
The butcher coming, nigga.
The butcher coming.